Number 3, focusing on numbers and branding as we attract more people to build a brand. The coolest church in town. We're not crazy, so we're going to mask everything and try to project a happy, loving church with no problems.
Wow.
Number 4, emphasizing polite behavior, exaggerated pity, people who function well in most contexts. Well, he's just having a bad day. But we're going to marginalize maybe the behavior or some of the symptoms we see in some of our members and overlook it. Number 5, referring our congregation to get help, but not following through, forgetting about it.
Yeah.
Number 6, staying silent. We fail to address mental illness as a reality. We reinforce loneliness, marginalization, and again, send messages that the church and therefore God has no help or hope for you. Number 7, assuming mental illness is caused by demons. Number 8, suggesting mental illness is God's punishment. This idea directly contradicts God's teaching and paints God as a cruel master of our faith. Number 9, claiming mental illness is evidence of a weak faith. Number 10, proposing purely spiritual solution other than medical treatment. Well, we're just going to pray that demon out of you. And sometimes that's not going to work. We're going to need medication. We have to embrace that. Church, we got to realize having mental health issue doesn't make me a bad Christian. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's what I tell the brothers. You know, men, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't like to tell people I don't know or I'm hurt. But guess what? We got to get rid of that machismo aspect and people, hey, this is what I need. You know, the best thing for me was when I was forced to get counseling. And that's what got me into this field of psychotherapy, because I had so much pent-up aggression and anger for 30 years and didn't know where it was coming from. But once I learned, you know, they prayed for me, laid hands on me, but I would go back out and do the same thing over and over again. But the mental issues were never addressed. But once I addressed the mental issues, I became a better person, a better son, a better member of society. And we're seeking help in the church and outside the church. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with God. You don't have to tell the congregation what's going on, but you have to have honesty within you and with your therapy. Okay. When I'm working with my clients, I have the 4 P's of mental health. I don't know if I shared this before. Number 1 is persistence. You have to have a persistent change of lifestyle. Diet, time to go to bed, and just mental relaxation, quiet time. You know, persistence in diet. You know, I can't just nourish my body the right way for 10 days and have cheat days the other 20. The second one is perseverance. You got to keep, you know, we don't fall down, but we have in our DNA to get back up and do it again. But guess what? We can't use the devil to say, hey, you done, you're lazy, you're crazy. Because I used to say, I'm crazy. If I keep telling myself I'm crazy, guess what? I'm crazy. I'm crazy. You have to speak and be positive and persevere. You got to be patient. You got to sometimes, like I said, just ride it out, talk it out. And the 4th thing is prayer. Here are some notes that I researched that some of the Christians say about religion. I find it hard to confess what was emotionally wounded because I might question my faith, or the church might question my faith. Worse yet, you probably assume I'm not trusting God enough to tell me what worry is. Okay, because I told you I have been feeling numb, lonely, and depressed, you might accuse me of not praying enough, reading the Bible enough, or applying it correctly. So you might be tempted to think that people who read the Bible every day, trust Jesus, not drugs, should not be suffering. The bottom line is, the church needs to embrace scientific facts and mental health and realize it is God who developed psychiatry and the related fields. But the related field also needs to realize that God is in control of us.
Yeah.
You know, I was working with a client this week, and the reason why I was assigned to him to modify his behavior was because he has outbursts of rage and anger. But ever since I always pray before I go in. You know, I try to be well-grounded. But I didn't, it was one of them days, and I didn't do it. And this boy went berserk, and he choked me. And I'm sitting, I'm pulling his ear, trying to on the side, get my elbow, trying to get him off me. And he got away, and he started choking other kids.
Oh, man.
I did all the textbooks things we were supposed to do. Didn't work.
Yeah.
I grabbed him by his temple firmly and prayed. And went away.
Yeah. Wow.
So, prayer works. But we can't always rely on prayer. We also have to embrace, like I said, the medical aspects of psychotherapy.
That's right.
Michelle Obama stated, at the root of the dilemma is the way we view mental health in this country. Whether its illness affects your heart, your legs, your brain, it's still an illness, and there should be no distractions. So we need to embrace mental health, mental illness, and accept it. And hey, I'm sure, churches, members in the flock, they are suffering from mental depression or anxieties. Do I have enough time? Okay, here's some 2 minutes of statistics. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States, affecting 40 million adults in the United States, starting at the age of 18. That's 18.1% of our population. Wow. It's called GAD, Generalized Anxiety Disorders, which basically 6.8 million adults are affected. Women are twice as likely to be affected as men. Panic disorder affects 6 million adults, which is 2.7% of our population. Social anxiety disorder, 15 million adults, which is 6.8. Specific phobias, 19 million adults, 8.7% of Americans. Women are twice as likely to be affected as men. These symptoms really start taking place at childhood at the age of 7. Wow. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorders. It's 2 million, with 1% people. Post-traumatic stress disorders. A lot of people think, well, I was in the war, I'm having those traumas. I got jumped in the 7th grade or whatever, but also it occurs from verbal abuse as well. That causes PTSD. So we have to acknowledge that as well. 7.7 million adults are affected by that. Major depressive disorders is usually diagnosed at the age of 15 to 44. The leading cause of disability in America, 16.1 million. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking help. I know when I took my kids to college, one of the first places we stopped by was the mental health office. And I told my children, hey, if anything happens, you feel funny, you can't cope, this is where I need you to go. I need you to go. Yeah, it's not, but don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed. Most of it is confidentiality. You're not there for anybody else. I don't even have to know. And it's going to do wonders for you. One of my children, they took me up on it and said, thanks for letting me know, because it made me persevere and realize that I'm not different.
Amen.
I was just going through something right now. Any questions? No? I'd like to thank you all.